welcome to my channel. It's Sunshine the Runner. So this is going up on the 2nd of December and I am bringing you my December TBR, what I'm reading this month. I am posting every single, well not every single day in December, I am posting up until like the it'll be around about the 25th that I stop posting. I am doing a proper Vlogmas as well as posting videos in between. So I am doing Vlogmas in days of 2, so the 1st and 2nd is going to go up on the 3rd, which is tomorrow, and then the 3rd and 4th are going to go up on the 5th, and so on and so forth. And those in between days, I'm going to be giving you a little bit more extra bookish content. In my vlogs, it's going to be like Christmassy stuff and bits and pieces of my reading, etc. So if you don't want to miss out, hit that subscribe button. It'll be really greatly appreciated. And yes, let's just get into this December TBR. So first of all, there are so many readathons this month. So I really struggled. Like I was like, oh, I want to do this one, and that one, and that one, and that one, and that one, and I cannot do them all. So I'm gonna first of all do a few honourable mentions of readathons that I wish I could take part in, but I can't because it's December. It's literally the busiest month of the year, and I just do not have the time to take part in all of them, and I would love to, but I'm going to mention them here. And these ones, you still have time to take part in them if you want to, so I'll try and remember and link the creators below. So first one is "'Tis the Seasonathon", which has been hosted by Bookables, and it's running next week, I believe, for a week. There's Holiday Romcomathon, which is running not this weekend but next weekend, and that's been hosted by Michelle's Library, Pretty Purple Polka Dots, and Four Paws and a book. And then there's also a Christmas themed one, and then the last one, which is not Christmas themed, is Readathon, being hosted by Chloe Reads Books. It is the 2nd year that it's running, and it is centered around long distance relationships, and I took part last year. I really enjoyed it. I myself and my husband did have a long distance relationship for quite a few years, so I really did want to take part in that one. Like I said, I just couldn't make it work, and it's also next week as well, and like next weekend I have friends coming, and I don't have the time. I have Christmas parties and I'm so busy. But please go and check them out and take part in them if you want to support those creators. So the readathons that I am going to be taking part in are Reindeer Readathon, which I will get into that in a moment in my TBR, and Christmasathon, which is running for the whole of December. There are going to be 24 prompts being released every single day, so from the 1st to the 24th. They're not all reading prompts, thank goodness. There's like 8 reading prompts, I believe, and then there's other prompts as well. And it's being hosted by Silke at the Danish Reader, and Jem from Bookish Gems, and it sounds really fun. I don't know what the prompts are, so I cannot plan for it, and I just hope that the TBR that I have selected this month is going to work for them. I think they're going to be quite kind of open and wide, but I love the idea that it's like an Advent kind of style readathon where each day we're going to get a new prompt, and it could be reading ones, it could be like activities, or like guilt-free activities, or you know, and I think it's going to be really fun. That means my TBR basically is for the Reindeer Readathon, which is taking part the whole of December as well. And part of the reason why I chose these 2 readathons is because it's the whole month you have, so you really have all the time to kind of take part in them, and it's a bit more like chill. So there are 9 prompts, so I have 9 books because you're not allowed to double up, but I'm pretty sure, I think I've chosen well, that this is totally going to be manageable. So this readathon has been created by Break Even Books, and he's been running it for quite a few years now. I don't know how many years, but this is the 1st year I'm going to take part of it. And there's different co-hosts, and I think they change each year as well. When you sign up, you are assigned a team, and I am on Team Snowflake. So one of the co-hosts that is actually captain of my team is Noelle 7 Pages. So yes, it's really fun. I like the idea that you just are randomly assigned a team rather than like choosing one, because I find a lot of other readathons, like sometimes you have like special like powers or whatever, but I think it's quite fun that you're just randomly assigned. And yeah, it's gonna be random. There's points for all these prompts, but I'm not going through all of that. You can, you know, but I'm going to take you through now the books that I've chosen. All 9 of them, and wish me luck, guys, wish me luck. So the first prompt is Dasher, which is finish a book series or pick up a book that you put down before, or read a novella. Now, I don't have one book left in a series to read. If I've put a book down, it's because I don't really have plans of picking that book up again, so I don't have those. I went with the novella, which is The Christmas Pact by V. Keeland and Penelope Ward. This is on Audible on the Plus catalogue. It's super quick. It is less than 3 hours, so it is perfect. I love to include an audiobook or a couple of audiobooks on TBRs for readathons because I find that I need them to help me in between, like cooking, doing bits and pieces around the house, walking, you know, to get the maximisation of reading. So this is the Christmas book, in case you hadn't realised from the title, and it's like classic rom-com, Christmas rom-com. It takes part in like a workplace romance type book. I'm going to read the synopsis, but that's kind of what I remember from it. But I remember reading it, be like, would 100% be a great Christmas film. So Riley Kennedy's emails keep getting crossed with their colleague Kennedy Riley. The infuriating man forwards them along with his annoying commentary and unsolicited advice. At least she never has to see him in person since they work at different locations. Until they come face to face at the office holiday party. As luck would have it, Kennedy turns out to be gorgeous, though still a jerk. Yet somehow he's able to charm her out on the dance floor and convince her to participate in his crazy scheme. He'll go home with Riley for a Christmas party and pretend to be her boyfriend if Riley agrees to be his date till wedding. It sounds easy enough, but little by little the act they're putting on starts to feel like so much more than a Christmas pack, and Riley's about to learn there's more to Kenny than she ever imagined. Love the sound of that premise. I read the Plus One Pact earlier this year, not by any of those authors. It was by Patricia McIntosh, and it was a similar idea where like a pact was made about being like dates to weddings, and I just love the sound of it, and I think it's going to be really quick, it's going to be really fun, and it sounds like it should be a Christmas film. 100%. Next prompt is Dasher, a book with elegant cursive font on the front cover, and I went with where the rainbow ends because like it looks a little bit, you know, nice and cursive-y, and this is one of my books that need to self-destruct in February. I have so far read, at the date of filming this, I've read 3 so far, and they were all in November, so you know, we're behind, so I had to fit this in. I had to fit one in, guys. So this is by Cecilia Ahern. I read P.S. I Love You by her many years ago, which I absolutely loved. I've never reread it, so I don't know if I still feel the same about that book, but I've owned this for many years, guys, which is why it's on the Self-Destruct TBR. It is a romance, I believe. I can't remember what this one's about, so I'm going to read the synopsis in a moment, but I know that I believe there's like exchange of letters to emails or something in this one. So from naughty children to rebellious teenagers, Rosie and Alex have stuck by each other through thick and thin. Just as they're discovering the joys of teenage nights on the town and dating disasters, they're separated. Alex's family moves from Dublin to America, and Alex goes with them for good. Rosie's lost without him, but on the eve of her departure to join Alex in Boston, Rosie gets news that will change her for life forever and keep her at home in Ireland. Their magical connection sees them through the ups and downs of each other's lives, but neither of them knows whether their friendship can survive the years and miles or new relationships. And at the back of Rosie's mind is whether they were meant to be more than just good friends all along. Misunderstandings, circumstances, and sheer bad luck have kept them apart. But when presented with the ultimate opportunity, will they gamble everything for true love? So yes, sounds really good. The writing is big in this. This is also much bigger than a normal paperback, but big writing, guys, which is what we love to see. And like I said, there's like exchanges between them, like letters, like emails or whatever. So I think it'll be quite a quick read, which is why I also chose it, apart from the fact that I kind of need to read it before February. Otherwise it's going to go anyway, so, you know. Next is Prancer. Read a book with your favourite season on it, or with your favourite season's colours on it. I've chosen Secret Santa by Andrew Schaefer. Again, it's on the Audible Plus catalogue because, you know, I should really make use of that. It is not too long audiobook, it's about 5.5 hours, which is really good. But this is like, it's Christmas, which is, I think is my ultimate favourite season, guys. Shortly followed by Halloween. I think it's Christmas then Halloween because I just love it, guys. I love it. I mean, it's November, the Christmas tree's up. And with Santa here, you know, love it, love it. Even got my Christmas mug, you know, Christmas jumpers, I love it. So this, I believe, is like a kind of horror Christmas type book. I don't think, normally in December you don't have much opportunity to kind of read Christmassy horror thriller type books, so I thought this would be really nice, different one to have on my TBR. So this one's described as The Office meets Stephen King. Dressed up in holiday tinsel in this fun, festive and frightening horror comedy set in the horror publishing boom of the 80s. Out of work for months, Lucy Mayer is desperate to work anywhere in publishing. Prestigious Blackwood Patterson isn't the perfect fit, but bizarre set of circumstances leads to her hire and her firm mandate. Lucy must find the next horror superstar to compete with Stephen King, Anne Rice and Peter Schraub. It's the 80s after all, and horror is the hottest game. But as soon as she arrives, arrives, Lucy finds herself the target of her co-workers' mean-spirited pranks. The hazing reaches its peak during the company's annual Secret Santa gift exchange, when Lucy receives a demonic-looking object that she recognises but doesn't understand. Suddenly, her co-workers begin falling victim to a series of horrific accidents akin to George Romero's movie, and Lucy suspects that her gift is involved. With the help of former author, the flamboyant Fabian Nightingale, Lucy must track down her anonymous Secret Santa and figure out the true meaning of the cursed object in her possession before it destroys the company and her soul. It sounds really fun. I like the idea of Secret Santa gone wrong, so I think it's going to be a nice, fun, quick one, and like I said, you know, it's helpful to have a few audiobooks on my TBR to actually try and complete it. Next up is Vixen, a book you want to read but it might be overhyped. And I have chosen The Family Upstairs by Lisa Jewell. Now, this is the first Lisa Jewell I will be actually reading. I own another one on my shelves, Watching You, and I think I have a few on my Kindle by her as well, and I've just never gotten around to actually reading them. But now in December, Chloe's Books Crime Scene Corner Book Club's pick is The Family Upstairs. So it's a perfect opportunity to actually finally get this one. I feel like people are all speaking about Lisa Jewell's books and this is like quite hyped up. But for me personally, I find that thriller books, there are a few rare exceptions that are this fantastic and amazing, but in general, they don't quite live up to that hype, like 5 stars. This could be like a 4-star, but is it going to be 5 stars? I don't think so, because it's very rare for me to give 5 stars to a thriller. So the synopsis of this one: be careful who you let in. In a large house in London's fashionable Chelsea, a baby is awake in her cot, well fed and cared for. She's happily waiting for somebody to pick her up. In the kitchen lie 3 decomposing corpses. Close to them is a hastily scrawled note. They've been dead for several days. Who has been looking after the baby and where did they go? So super like intriguing mystery vibes to this. It's a thriller. There is a sequel that came out this year as well, so that's kind of interesting to me because is this not fully resolved in here? Which is also why I think, you know, it might not quite live up to hype if that is the case. But yes, looking forward to this. And again, it'll be good to read another book that is on my shelves because, you know, I should be reading books I actually own. And I'm doing a little bit of series on TikTok, if you don't follow me, Sunshine Lorena, where I'm actually reading books I own. I do little mini vlogs and reviews, so check that out if you want to. So now we're at the point where the Kindle Unlimited books are going to be entering the TBR, guys. So the next prompt is comet, a book with an astronomical word in it, so star, moon, star, etc, etc. And I've chosen Ice Planet Barbarians, guys, by Ruby Dixon. So this is the first time I'm picking this up. This is going to be book 1 and there's like 20 books or something. And I've seen bits and pieces about this about these like books around, and I'm expecting 100% pure trash, absolute rubbish, like terrible, but so terrible that is good is what I'm expecting from this. So yes, planet is an astronomical word, right? I'm going with that, okay? This is a sci-fi romance and it involves aliens is what I know. I'm gonna check I'll give you the synopsis in a second. But yes, I'm expecting it to be so bad that it's good, is the vibes that I get from everyone. It's one of those books that I think you get on Kindle Unlimited that are, you know, the romances that unless you'd Kindle Unlimited, you would never pick them up in your entire life. So yes, this one basically, you think being abducted by aliens would be the worst thing that could happen to me, and you'd be wrong. Because now the aliens are having ship trouble and they've left their cargo of human and women, including me, on an ice planet. And the only native inhabitant I've met, he's big, horned, blue, and really, really has a thing for me. And that's our synopsis. It doesn't sound like there's a lot of actual plot, but I'm hoping that it's good from what I've heard from people speaking about it on Book Talk, etc. So it should be good. Then next is Cupid, a book with your favourite trope. One of my absolute favourite tropes is enemies to lovers in a romance. I do have other tropes for different genres, but honestly, December, I'm feeling romances at the moment, so that's what we're going with. And I've chosen a very mafia Christmas, a standalone enemies to lovers holiday romance. Again, Kindle Unlimited, guys. I saw this and I was like, I have to read it. I've never read a mafia romance. So it's gonna be interesting, guys. It is gonna be interesting. So I'm just gonna read the synopsis so you can get like the full impact of it. Again, I'm expecting this not to be great, but good, you know? So Marry me. What? My gaze widened. What did you say? Marry me. His lips curl. Not for real, of course. Christian Roberto Domenico Sovrano could have any woman he wants, but he's totally focused on me. He's obsessed with me. He lives to make my life miserable. It's why he's asked me to pose as his fake wife for 30 days. 30 days. In return for saving my life from the wrath of mafia. Oh, he also wants to attend his family's Christmas getaway and pretend to be his loving, devoted spouse. Gulp. Guess what happens next? We get lost in the forest and snowed in for Christmas. And have to share the same bed. Oh, the one bed trope. But tell if I'm going to simply agree to his terms. I plan to go toe to toe with him and make him pay for this sham of a marriage that he's locked me in. Only he's tall, hot, and oh so wickedly mean. And when he looks at me with his piercing gaze, I'm sure he can see right through me. It's why I need to leave before he finds out my secret. Oh, what's the secret? I forgot that this has the one bed trope in it. Anyway, enemies to lovers. One of my favourite tropes in romance. Never read a mafia romance, so why not start with this Christmas one? It's a standalone, should be really interesting, and like I said, Kindle Unlimited, taking me down weird paths again. Next is Donna Read a Book that you want to read but aren't a fan of the cover, and I've chosen The House of Spirits by Isabel Allende. Again, this is another of my self-destruct books, trying to get another one on this list, but the cover, it just doesn't pull me in. Like, it never pulls me in. This has been on my shelf for years and I just don't feel drawn to the cover. I don't even know why I bought this in the first place, guys. I really don't. It's magical realism, which I haven't explored that much. I would probably pick this up in the latter half of December once, like, you know, the Christmasiness is dying down. But yes, this one, it's been forever since I've read the back of this, so let's find out again what this one's about. Spanning 4 generations, this is a magnificent family saga populated by a memorable, often eccentric cast of characters. Together, men and women, spirits, the forces of nature and history, covered in an unforgettable, wholly absorbing and brilliantly realised novel that is richly entertaining as it is a masterpiece of modern literature. This doesn't really tell me, it's one of those synopses that doesn't really tell me much about what's going on. But family saga, guys, family saga. It's almost 500 pages, the writing's not too bad. Let's see, I'm gonna give it a go because, like I said, you know, I have until February to give these books a go, otherwise I'm on haul on them, so why not give it a go for this readathon. Next one is Blitzen. Use a random number generator to generate a number that the book has to end in. So, I got the number 5. So, and I have to choose another Kindle Unlimited book. Surprise, surprise. But this is like rom-com, not like spicy, weird romances. This one is 365 pages, so, you know, ends in 5, and it's Santa Maybe by Mary Jane Baker, and this is a 2022 Christmas romance. So it looks like this one has like a love triangle. So toy store owner LD Martin is not one to get into a festive spirit, but nothing gets her fired up more than the chance to get one over on her nemesis, Callum Ashley, the frosty, infuriating, handsome owner of the local department store. Christmas is the only time she can compete thanks to her granddad Jim, everyone's favourite Santa Claus, but when he has to unexpectedly hang up his red suit, Elodie is at risk of losing the business for good and has no choice but to rely on a last-minute replacement out-of-work actor Nick Winter. Can a sprinkle of Christmas magic warm Callum's heart and help Elodie find her happily ever after, or is it possible that love is to be found a little bit closer to home? So, it's giving me love triangle vibes, set around Christmas. I guess it's the classic Christmas rom-com vibes, and it sounds really good. And hopefully it should be really enjoyable. It is one of the longer books that I have on this list as well, but with the short ones we should be able to get it done. And finally, the last prompt is Rudolph, start a new series, and I have chosen Regifted, Ganged by the Ghosts of Christmas, the holiday hedonism series. So it's part of like a series, it's not book number 1, but it's a series of books that are set around all the different like kind of holidays. So it's me starting a new series. This is like a novella basically, it's like 50 pages, so it's super quick. It is written by J.L. Logos and Vera Valentine. Kindle Unlimited, guys. And basically, this is a different take on A Christmas Carol, kind of. This is a reverse harem Chas Dickens style, is what it says. It's a gender-bent twist on The Christmas Carol follows businesswoman Elodie Nadir and 4 ghostly guests. Jake, Annan, you're an Xer, and she learns how rewarding giving can be. She'll be absolutely filled with joy by the time they've done helping her embrace the true meaning of Christmas. So yeah, that's that. That's that one. It's super short, 50 pages, so honestly I am not expecting much from that, but it's a super quick one to take off that prompt. And that is all the books that I have planned for Reindeer Readathon and my December TBR. I do have a few that I'm going to quickly just mention now that if there is time with all those 9 books to fit in December as well, I'd like to pick them up. One is A Merry Little Meet Cute by Julie Murphy and Sierra Simone. This seems to be like the holiday romance book of 2022. It is on audiobook, on script, so it would be good to try and get this one in if I can. Audiobook should be easier to kind of slip in if I can, but yes, it seems to be like the holiday book of the year. Legends and Lattes, obviously not Christmas themed, but in November I did get approved for the ARC, but it was literally on the day of publication and I have not had time to fit it into my November reading, so if I could try and fit it in December, that would be really good. I do want to read more fantasy, and you know, it's an ARC, so I do want to read it, see what the hype is as well, and yeah, hopefully I enjoy it. And then there's a whole other bunch of like Christmassy ones that I have saved on Kindle Unlimited. If there's time, I might pick those up. But that's kind of it. So let me know if you've read any of these, if you want to read any of these, if you're taking part in the readathon. And like I said, I am doing Vlogmas, so you're going to be seeing bits and pieces of me reading these books and opinions throughout the month. But those vlogs will be filled with like other kind of Christmassy activities anyway. So yes, hit that subscribe button, comment down below, hit the like button, and I will hopefully see you in the next one. And remember, tomorrow is going to be my first Vlogmas vlog, so hopefully see you in that one. Bye! Sorry, Santa. With the help of former author, the flamboyant, I feel like people always speak about this in the sigil, in the kitchen, like 3 dipples in coffee. Cannot speak today. Santa, maybe you were there next week.